Prepare to be amazed.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it, and I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, I just wanna be great.
Pretty impressive. You got some Evil Dead coming out pretty soon. And it looks like it's going to be released on the new systems as well as the last gen systems as well. There's only been one Evil Dead game that I know of. Maybe there's been two. One for the PlayStation, one for the PlayStation 2. Looks pretty interesting, though, I'll tell you that. But anyway, that's not what we're here for. Just finally got my newest edition of the Game Informer. And unfortunately, for the last year, didn't realize this, but I was only getting digital subscription. Okay, well, I mean, that's a way to start off the video. How you doing, everybody? This is Jason, Jason's House of Fun and Video Games, bringing you today Thrift Time and Finds Volume 44. In this series, we hit the thrift, we hit any of these little vintage stores, any little mom and pa's, anything in between. We also mix some big box retailer. We might mix some video game store. I've got a bunch of different channels, bunch of different series on one channel. I don't have 2, 3, 4, 50. If I had that, I could barely keep track of one, let alone that. So if you are interested in what is going on today, what we go over, what we found in the wild, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We got 190 awesome, amazing folks out there that have subscribed to the House of Fun and Video Games. Am I wrapping this video up before it started? No, I'm not. I'm just really tired. Let's just say that I've been working an awful lot. We've heard that before on the channel, right? Well, a little bit of a difference. I have something to present to you, if I may, before we start in the video. The main meat and potatoes. Because you know, on this channel, if you've been around long enough, I go way off the rails, off the train tracks. I don't care. I just want to be able to give you some little tidbits of information when I feel it's necessary. So why have I been working 2 weeks straight? Well, I must be out of my mind. Been doing what I've been doing a long time, but I have something important to share to you. And what's that? Very simple. At my job, which I don't really get into much, I keep that separate from the channel. A few personal things here and there, there's nothing wrong with that, but the professional part of it has to remain very loosely talked about, I guess. At least that's just what I feel comfortable with. So I received a promotion, and what was that promotion? I run a store now. This guy from the House of Fun and Video Games, if you've been watching me for a long time, you know that I've always talked about working hard and having fun and just about everything else under the sun. Well, when it comes to work, I take it very serious. And finally, after many, many years, that has come to fruition. I'm in charge of an entire building, and I got to make sure things run right. So if there are not as many videos even as there wasn't really that many before. I try to do one a week, one every 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks, sometimes a month. Sorry. That is why, for the time being, I'll be pretty much working every day. And hopefully someday be able to at least get one day off. I get really going to why. It just kind of is what it is. But hopefully you folks that have been around long enough, you understand that this is something to have fun with. I enjoy interacting with all you folks and all that other happy hoopla that we do on the House of Fun and Video Games and on the tube of a billion U's, but only one of me and you. That's my line. Nobody's got that. That's mine. I own it. I own it. You like that sign back there? For those who haven't been around long enough to know where that comes from, it's from a good buddy of mine. He made it for me, and he made it from scratch. Looks wonderful. I haven't brought it out in a while because tucked in the closet of doom, but I figured different angle. Video hasn't been done in a while. Let's get rocking and rolling. You might as well have it out because it's awesome and it represents everything that I love about this channel. That sign right there just shows the appreciation that's out there with everybody. So, how many thrifts do we go to? Went to a few. Were we successful in going after what we were going after? And what is it we're going after? Mainly video games, maybe some vintage toys or action figures rather, and maybe some other weird stuff in between. The nonsense. I have a whole section of nonsense. Some may say this whole room is covered in nonsense. Some may say it is invaded with nonsense. But I don't think it's all nonsense. You might, but it's cool. I get it. So anyway, without further ado, we're going to go over what we got at the thrift most recently. I've been able to go a little bit more now because I'm actually closer to the thrifts and it's on my way to work. So when I get a chance, poke my head in, see what's going on. What's going on? And I actually found out at one of the thrifts I go to, which is the Salvation Army. It's the one I frequent the most because it's the easiest to get to for me. And most successful that I've ever come up with in the Salvation Army out of all the thrifts. Goodwill, though, too, of course. No Sabres where I am, unfortunately. But I loved Sabres, too. Great. But prices for the Goodwill and Salvation Army are better. That's just the way I see it. It's the way I've kind of gone about. It's forming my opinion, whatever. And you could tell I've been at work for a while. I'm a little tired, but we're going to try to get through this. So I had to get a video up. I had to get it out for you. So what did we find? We found a whole bunch of stuff. Plus I'm going to show you some things that Cynthia actually got for me. She was out in the wild, in the wilderness. And the first thing she thinks of when she's at a vintage store, I think she referred to it as. It wasn't a thrift, but kind of geared towards action figures and video games and a few other things. She thought of me. Well, I guess that makes sense that I've made now 44 of these videos. I'd probably think of me too. And she picked up some cool stuff there as well. So we're going to get right into it, but I don't really know where to start. So as far as the close-ups of the items, I'm going to try to put up as many as I can. Remember, time is just not on my side, and I got to get back to work very, very soon. But not soon enough? I don't know. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. 2 weeks later, and I'm still rocking and rolling, baby. I'm still kicking buns and taking names. Or I'm just working a lot. I'm about to fall over. Just kidding. Okay. Back to what we were talking about. What's the first thing we want to go over? Plenty things. Let's go over some stuff I got at the big box retailer. I think that's a good idea. Alright, let's see what we got. I think I've got quite a number of things today, so I'm going to try to bring those all on over without showing it off too much. Hopefully there's one more thing. I don't see it, but oh no, I do see it. I see a few more things. Great, excellent. So the first thing is first. I don't get a lot of head knockers. I don't get a lot of statues. I have a few of them behind there. You've seen it in many of my videos, and it's kind of blocking it, but it's okay. You see the clown, happy, sad, ruffles, we'll call them. So this right here, I couldn't pass up. We got ourselves a hand-painted collector's quality resin at an affordable price. That's a lot of verbiage for a head knocker, but hey, it looks awesome. And it just so happens to be from one of my favorite action figure companies that is out there currently right now, and it is NECA. NECA is awesome. And what did I got? What do we get? As I drop it. I haven't seen this before, but I think it looks pretty cool. I just don't want to drop it, but I'm trying to see if you can see, because the lighting's not really good right now, but hopefully you can. Oh, there we go. Yay! That's why the watch is good. I could see you seeing me, and it's a little weird, but this is something I couldn't pass up, because if you haven't noticed, I've got a ton of horror stuff around. I've got posters and figures and VHS and Laserdisc and video games. Like, it just never stops. So Halloween, so good old Michael Myers. This is from the 2018 remake. Halloween's getting a little confusing. There's Halloween, now referred to as Halloween 78, the original. Then there's Halloween 2 through 6. And then there's H2O. And then there's the Rob Zombie remakes, Halloween 1 and 2. Very confusing. And then after that, there's H2O and then Resurrection. How could I forget? Trick or Treat. Yeah, Busta Rhymes. Yeah, not a good entry, but I do find that entertaining. I can't lie. Yeah, Rob Zombie's 2 of them, they Halloween 1 and 2, and then Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and then of course Halloween Ends is going to be coming out pretty soon. Who's excited for Halloween Ends? Because you know I am. And speaking of horror, did you see Scream 5? I'm sorry, just Scream, because that's just the way things are going to go now. I did. I got a lot to think about that. I got a lot to say about that, I should say. And maybe for another video, but I'm just curious. Well done. Well done. I think it was a good movie. We can get in depth on that at some other point in time, but I had to think about it because I got Michael Myers in my hand, and yeah, cool little head knocker. Probably roughly about the same size as my Joker or my Two-Face that I have, so few and far between, but definitely worth it. So we're going to pop Michael here. And going with the head knocker theme, because apparently it was a head knocker kind of hunting day. I don't know. Like I said, I don't normally go for these, but this one I saw and it was open. It was just hanging out, and hanging out as package. I have all full motives of opening these up and discarding the packages. If you, excuse me for yawning. If you know anything about me and the channel, you know that I like to keep things complete in box for the most part, unless I found something loose or whatever. But these things I want to display, and I'm cool without the boxes. They don't make that big of a deal to me. But this one isn't from NECA. This is from Royal Bubbles. I don't know, limited edition ball heads. But this one right here is, as I try to light them, there we go. It is Pee Wee Herman. I had a couple of figures for Pee Wee Herman. I don't know if I have any anymore. I think I have the chair, and I have the Cherry, and there was a few other ones I might have had. I had Pee Wee at one point. I could see Bob Backlund when he was running for president on the WWE back in the day. I know, random. I'm really random today, but anyway, I don't have any other Pee Wee stuff. I used to have the Pee Wee's Playhouse, the actual Playhouse. It's so expensive now. I'd love to get it complete in box. I'd love to get all these guys complete in box, but we're kind of run out of room here, so I have to make some hard decisions at some point on what we should keep and what we shouldn't. But luckily, with the way I have the room set up, I could take things down and put things up pretty easy. So, excuse me, not trying to yawn during this, but like I said, I've been working 2 weeks straight. This is crazy. Pee Wee Herman. Loved the show when I was a kid. Loved the movies. They were great. And glad to finally add something to the collection with Pee Wee in it, because other than Cherry, which is somewhere over there, I don't know where on my nonsense table. Yeah, I get to add something there. It's got some information on here. Nothing really crazy, but yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. I'd love to pull it out and show you. I might do that for the showing of both these figures at some point in time. It'll be up here. Hopefully, we'll see, because the boxes are cool. Maybe I'll show you the boxes and the figures. I don't know, but I mean, we're just going off the rails now. So I'm gonna try to reel myself in before we go into the abyss. Because once we're in the abyss, we're just not getting out of it. So a few more things from the big box, and this one right here. I have to admit, I'm a sucker for a good-looking box, for a package, for the artwork on it. I have this movie in VHS. I have it in a limited edition VHS. I have it in Laserdisc, DVD, Blu-ray. I don't believe I have it on 4K, but I very could. No, I don't. I have it on Blu-ray. I have the newer ones on 4K, but imagine that, 4K. We're already at that point, and soon 8K is going to be here, and I'm not going to know what the hell to do with myself. Am I going to continue on collecting movies? If I see something, but I think I'm not going to rebuy too much. I don't know. Again, let's get refocused here. Terminator 2 Judgment Day. You cannot pass up on this, and why is that? Pretty simply, folks. Look at that amazing cover art. It reminds me of a VHS back in the days. Got the sticker on there. If it was a video game rental store and it says "Be Kind and Rewind," couldn't pass this up. Just for sheer packaging. And it's got the unrated, special unrated cut. I don't know if that's what it was called. It's a good question. I should probably look that up and let you know on what this was called. But I don't remember it ever being called special unrated cut. I don't know if it was director's cut or what it was, or unrated cut. Maybe it could have been. But anyway, might be something to look at. And I'll throw some information at some point here. And if I don't, then I guess I didn't figure it out. But we'll see. Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Didn't need it. Already have it on every platform. But like I said, you can't pass that up. So that was a good big box retailer find for sure. Last two things from the big box retailer are this one. It's a pretty special one. If you watch any current wrestling, whether it's WWE, AEW, ROH, New Japan Wrestling, Impact, there's a ton of different things out there. There is a gentleman by the name, he was at the time of his passing, named Mr. Brody Lee. He was also Luke Harper, and his real name was John Huber. And this guy, for being the size that he was an amazing athlete. Like, words can't even describe how good he was. He was such a big guy, and he could pull his weight like a big guy, but he flew like a cruiserweight. And, I did a lot of research on him after his unfortunate passing, just kind of a little behind the scenes stuff, and he seemed like a really good person. So I could not put this down when I saw this. I couldn't believe that I actually found it, and I wasn't looking for it, but I knew if one day if I found this, I was going to pull the trigger on it. Mr. Brody Lee from AEW. Now, if you know, and if you don't know, I don't have many AEW figures. I have a few over in the horizon here. I got a John Moxley and a Chris Jericho. And I have a Cody Rhodes, but I haven't figured out where I'm going to put them. But, this is... this lighting today is not working for me. It's probably the angle, but it's fine. Beautiful figure. Great wrestler, awesome career, and from what I read and hearing about what folks had to say about him, awesome person. He passed away, I believe, in 2021, very early. Very early, it was like January, maybe December. No, it was January, something like that. I can't remember the exact date, but yeah, real good career, and I'm glad to be able to have this figure to hang on to the wall because it's taken its rightful place. Definitely a big influence on the world of wrestling over the years that he did wrestle. So good stuff, and beautiful figure. Can't pass that up. So moving on to something a little less. No, there's more. We got another big 2-pack for WWE's Championship Showdown. Although I'm not particularly fond of the way that these two necessarily look, I still think it's good. I like it though. I don't have an Undertaker like this, and I don't have a Bret Hart I think that looks like this. I have one Bret Hart similar, but yeah, the Undertaker versus Bret Hart. This was at SummerSlam '97, and I wish that this came with a belt. It kind of comes with a belt, I guess you could call it, but I don't know. That's that would have been nice, get the wingtip belt. I already have one on a few of my figures, but This match was spectacular. If you don't know anything about wrestling, I'm sure that you've heard Bret Hart's name or The Undertaker's name at one point or another. They're synonymous with wrestling in general, and those people that don't know much about that world absolutely will know these people once they're heard. They might not know anything about them, but they know, oh, Undertaker, he wrestles, or Bret Hart, yeah, he's a really good wrestler, technical wrestler. So, great looking figures, and yeah, that's kind of why I decided to pull the trigger on it, but not much out in the wild for wrestling figures, just few and far between now, kind of slowing down a little bit because I think I pretty much have what I want that's reasonable. So, right? Okay. So, let's get to what Cynthia actually gave us, and then we'll get to the thrifty stuff. So, it's kind of a thrifty thing, because Cynthia got it, but it was at a vintage store. It's thrift. Who cares? Semantics. Tomato. Mustard, ketchup. They're different, I know. Alright. So, the three things that Cynthia got from me, she almost got me a fourth one, but unfortunately, it wasn't worth it. I'm very particular with action figures. They're going to be complete in box, sealed. Don't have to be new. I kind of like little things in it and stuff like that, depending on what it is. But she sent me a few pictures as I'm like reaching into it. Yeah, it was a little weird, but she sent me a few pictures and said, "Hey, do you see anything you like?" And I go, "Yes. That's not good as Rift, but thank you, Cynthia. I know you're always watching and supporting me, supporting the channel." And she decided to get me some figures. So, what do we got? And these are all retro, vintage. I don't even know what you'd call them, but a little upsetting that for whatever reason, although I think we could probably get this off. Maybe I won't. It really doesn't matter. But this one right here, don't ever put stickers on figures. Here I go trying to jump into the camera again. I'm crazy. Sort of, kind of. I don't know. Overtired. Tired, not enough. I don't know. Well, Fantastic Four. The Invisible Woman. I don't really have a whole bunch of... you can't even see her. Let me see. Is she that... this lighting is going to drive me nuts. I have to do some good views. Oh, that's too much of a bummer. That's fine. We'll remember that for next time. I just want to change up views, but again, you'll see this hopefully somewhere along the line. Maybe a big bunch of them at once, so I have to do 40,000 clips. But I don't have many things when it comes to Fantastic Four. I know I've had Doctor Doom. Love Doctor Doom. I always love the bad guys in these, these series. But there's a bunch of cool figures on here. There's Thanos, Iron Man, Hawkeye, MODOK. Am I saying that right? It's not spelled right to pronunciate it that way, but I tried. It's got some cool things. You know what's funny? On the Fantastic Four series, they have a bunch of figures and Thanos, which I didn't know that was a thing, that apparently was. They do not have Reed Richards. They don't have the Thing. They don't have... Oh, they have the Human Torch. And they don't have... No, it was just those guys. And they don't have Doctor Doom, which is weird, because anything Fantastic Four I thought always had to have those. But not the biggest fan of the Fantastic Four, but I like them. They're cool. I like the comics. I've read them a few times, and movies were okay. I'm a huge fan of Michael Chiklis' work, so kind of drew me to seeing those two movies. And Julian McMahon as Doctor Doom. Yeah, I got a lot of knowledge up here, but I couldn't tell you what I did an hour ago. Yeah, pretty cool. And let's see what else we got here. X-Men Force. This is Black Tom. I don't know much about this, but and again, sorry for the not glare, I guess, for once. This one right here has got a bunch of different figures on it. I think this is awesome. Definitely brings me back, but I gotta ask you. I really have to, because I have cable. Yeah, I have cable 1. Is it necessary to do 5 cables? I don't know. I guess I like the figure. I like the story behind them, but there's 5 of them. 5 cables. Just saying, it's a little weird. I think at one point I had Silver Samurai. Of course, I had multiple Wolverines. I know I had Bishop. I know I had Professor X. I was so happy to get him. And I don't know where he ended up. He's somewhere, but we're not here anymore. But some cool figures on the back there. Not too bad. No complaints. Glad to add it to the collection, of course. This one was an interesting one. I don't have anything with Aquaman. I didn't even know this was a thing, but Total Justice. Pretty neat. This is another 90s thing. This is 96. You know, I was thinking about this when Geez, it's so hard to hold things apparently today. There we go. I was thinking about this when I saw this figure. I have a lot of bad guys for the Batman series. I've got Riddler, Two-Face. I got another Riddler, the deluxe one. I'm a huge fan of Batman Forever. I actually really enjoyed that movie. And I have the statues. It just does something for me, nostalgically speaking. Is it inferior to the first two? I don't know. Depends on your opinion. I think they're all different movies, you know, with Batman, of course, and they're different villains, but they all have a different feel to them. You could definitely feel, you know, some movies you can look at and you could feel there's such a huge difference with the director. Like, you just can. You could just be like, oh, I know that was a Burton film, or I know that was a Schumacher one. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, just something to think about, something to talk about, I guess, but I don't have anything with Aquaman, and it's not the new Aquaman, of course, but what I was trying to get at with that is, I have all these figures. I got a ton of Jokers, but no Batman. I've got to find a Batman. There has to be a Batman in this room somewhere. And I mean, I see the poster for the first three Batmans. I've got a Batman hanging over there that was from the DC line in 1989, I think it was, with Batman, Joker, Bob, which is interesting because they don't usually release this kind of figures. But no Vicky Vale, no Alfred, but Batmobile was awesome. And that Bat Cave, wow, that was something else. It's on the level of like the Playhouse for Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse. I never had a Castle Grayskull. I have one now, but I don't have the new one. I have the reproduction one, or the, you know, re-release one, whatever. Ghost House from the Ghostbusters. But yeah, that Batman Cave was just awesome. I think that was one of the first things that was kind of complicated to put together. Maybe it wasn't complicated and I'm just making stuff up, but I don't think so. I think it was a little complicated. I was very young at the time, but hey, like I said, another figure to add to the collection. Now, moving on to the thrift stuff. What do we got? Well, we got a whole bunch of stuff. And I should have done this beforehand, but we're going to do it now. So, that is what it is. What are you going to do? First up, may I go over this, because I think I tried to a few videos ago. I might have gotten the point across, I don't remember. I have two apps that keep track of all my games and all my movies. There's an app for comics and records, but just the movies and the games for me. I can kind of guesstimate for the most part everything else if I really was going after it. Unfortunately, when I changed my phones to what you're seeing now, which you can't see, but what you're seeing me through, which is the Galaxy 22 Ultra, or whatever the new thing is, from my Galaxy 20, I forgot to upload my data for my CLZ apps. Brats. When I tried to download it, it had some uploaded saved files, but it was when there were like 200 or 300 games in, and one day in 2020, 2 days, 3 days, whatever it took, like when I was at home, and after my mom passed, and needed to stay home and take a few days to myself and get be good, not to bring any more dread and dare to this movie. We're in a movie. No, I mean the video. I decided to download the apps because I saw something about it. It was cool, and put all my video games and everything on there, and I didn't upload it, and I have stuff from scratch. So I've been kind of working through these games behind you, and the movies are going to be fun. That's all I'm going to say about it. But I don't know if I have this, and if I do, it is what it is. You can always use another copy of Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. How could you go wrong with that? Just look at the awesomeness of this cover here. Like, it's colorful, and I don't know, it's been a long time since I've seen this, so I don't even know how long. Forever. But you know what? I'd like Thriller. Thriller. Never see that out there, but hey, pretty cool. Adding it to the collection. Let's go. Onward we go. And this one right here is an interesting one as the vinyl kind of comes out. That's unfortunate, but we're gonna put this back in. I've kind of slowed down on the most part for vinyl collecting. I'll get things here and there if it really interests me as I find out that this vinyl cover is about to incinerate or spontaneously combust. I don't know if it's ripped, but it's whatever. I saw this. I thought it was pretty cool. I've never seen anything from this era from 007. It's Goldfinger, and it is the motion picture soundtrack. And I don't remember when this movie was released. I could take a quick peek, though. You know, when you're looking for dates and you should already know them, not prepared. As the, look, see, it's falling out. Well, it's old, so I mean, this is kind of what happens, but this is a soundtrack for Goldfinger. I don't know if it has any value to it, but I thought it was something pretty cool to pick up. Something different, so I said, why not? James Bond movies are awesome. I don't watch them nearly enough, but I don't know if I have any of them. I have a few of them on VHS. It's the newer ones, but might be a collection I have to go after at some point. I'm going to put that down there because there's really just no room left, but this one right here is a deluxe edition of Spider-Man. And this one should come out real good, does it? There we go. Yeah, the light working with me. So this has just Spider-Man. This is an interesting collection here. This is a one where there was a sneak peek of Spider-Man 2. I don't see if it has any deleted scenes. No, I forget what attracted me to this. These things actually have some value to them. Some of them do, like a lot of movies do, but you know, I'm not really looking to resell anything, but you never know someday. This is a 3-disc set. I haven't seen this since it first came out. I clearly remember it because this packaging is awesome, but I just wish you could see it. But like I said, I'll get a better view. But yeah, just great. Always looking to add some more Spider-Man to my collection. There's something about this movie. Those first three movies that just did it for me. And the third one was okay, but the first two were amazing. So glad to add that to the collection. What can I say? Now, let's see what else we got here. Oh, you know what we got now. So recently at the Thrift, what's the one thing that your boy is always looking for? Video games. What's the one thing he hasn't brought to the table in a while? Video games from the Thrift. So what did I get? I got a couple of games from the Thrift, and I'm pretty happy about them. So I saw an Atari in this in the Salvation Army. I did not pull the trigger on it. $79.99. I already have an Atari that works. It's fine, but wow, this was a real sharp-looking Atari. If it was the Darth Vader black version of the Atari, not the wood one, a wood-looking one, whatever, I might have pulled the trigger on it because I always wanted a Darth Vader Atari 2600, but I said leave it for somebody else. Hopefully they'll enjoy it, and $80 is just not worth it for me. But we did get some games that we didn't have before, and luckily for me, when I went after these games, 50, 75. I don't really remember, but it wasn't what it was tagged as, because I was like, that's kind of high for Atari games, but unless there's something rare, I get it. But anyway, Skydiver. End labels. That's a good topic for some day. Why end labels are necessary. What system doesn't have end labels? Do you know? Are you that big of a gamer? You should know. No end labels. Casino. All these are in really good condition. This is Freeway. I don't believe I have any of these, but again, I was kind of going off of the top of my head, but they all kind of do some sort of rattling, and of course. Video pinball. I'm a huge pinball fanatic. I even know they had a pinball game on Atari, but oh, guess what they do, and guess who has it? This guy. Asteroids. I didn't have this. Seen some gameplay on it, I believe. Looked really cool, so definitely want to check that out. And Defender. Don't know much about it, but I might have seen a video or two on it. Can't really remember, but pretty cool, right? What else we got? We got a few more things, and I'm really excited about one of these. Yeah, I'm excited about everything, but you know, just something kind of gets you. So on these, we'll go over one movie I forgot to go over, because I didn't remember having it, even though it's really in beat-up condition, but it's hard to find this movie. I've seen it on VHS a few times, but Volcano, awesome movie with Tommy Lee Jones in it. A little bit cut. Not the best condition, but, you know, we'll take it. These games are as such. I think these are going to be put into the going after some games. So the funding for the games at the video game store. Now this one is Port Royal 3. I don't know. Might be something I should pop in. I haven't popped on a 360 in forever. This one's definitely something I'm interested in, but like I said, I don't know if I'd keep it or not, but the Beatles rock band, it's got everything in there that you need for sure, and it came with another copy of Medal of Honor Frontline. So that's pretty cool. Didn't have that for the 360, but these games are a little tough because if you're ever going to do a review on them, the whole game is one big copyright. It really is. So I don't even know how you would do it, but I guess if you just shut off the sound, I don't know, would that really make it fun? I guess if you hear the click, click, click of the instruments, but I haven't really messed around with these things, but I believe I have a guitar as I look around here. I think I have one in my garage, but maybe I could jam out a little bit, you know? I think when this first came out, you needed like the drums and the guitar and all this stuff. Like, it was very popular. Never really messed with one before, but gotta try it out sometime. And last and certainly not least, this is definitely a keep for me. It's Angry Birds Star Wars. I am not into cell phone games whatsoever. I'm just not. But what I am into is games that get my attention every once in a while, and that would be Angry Birds. Angry Birds, I played that thing like crazy. I played that thing so much, I cracked my phone. Yeah, crack. I forget the motion. I haven't played in forever, but I don't have to hit my phone anymore. But I mean, this just looks like so much fun. Imagine launching a bird into the Death Star. Can you do that? Yeah, there's the Death Star. There's the Star Destroyer. Maybe we can launch birds into those things. Cool. All right. Last, certainly not least, has to do with the 360. You know what the one thing I don't understand with Xbox, whether it's the newest generation, or 360 or Xbox One? I don't think they had it for the original. No, because the original had, yeah, I can see it right there in the corner of my eye, had corded. I'm good with corded. Nice little controller. I don't know if it works, but it's a see-through one. So you could see, I mean, this is just cool, right? I definitely got to get a close-up of this, but this is just really cool. And it looks like everything looks okay on here, but just to see a controller and the different things that it does and how it communicates to the board and then through the wire and to the machine, to the TV, and then to you, like, that stuff just really interests me. But the whole point of what I was saying is battery powered is fine, like with the PlayStation. It has that internal battery, and eventually, yes, that will at some point go, and I get that, but I don't like to replace batteries all the time. I feel like I'm playing with my Game Boy and my Game Gear. It's very frustrating. But is it that big of an inconvenience? Not really, but just, whatever. Bear with me. Hear me out here. I don't have to do that anymore because I got this as long as it works, and yeah, that's really cool. I like it. it's so interesting to see the inside of anything like this one. It's like that. You know what I'd really love, as we get into the recap, I'd really love a landline phone that's see-through like those ones from the 90s. They're really expensive and hard to find, and when you find them, they are real expensive, but it'd be cool. It'd be something good to find. So, folks, that's it. That's all I got to. I think I've taken up enough of your time. Thank you very much, like I said before, to the 190 awesome, amazing folks who have subscribed to the House of Video Games, who come back, watch these videos, interact with me, share their thoughts. I bet you when they did, they hit that notification bell. Ding! Why? Because sometimes YouTube doesn't always do the best of notifying you when a video comes up. But I have to say, on most of the subscriptions that I have, it does. You just got to hit the bell and select the personalized selection for how you want to be alerted. But some things, all things, I guess you have to just do all, because then it'll just be like, oh, you don't want to hear about this, and I'll tell you, and you're like, oh my God, I want to see it, but you can't. But it's all good. It's all gravy. Thank you very much to those folks on there, and if you haven't already, make sure you do so yourself and come back and hang out in the House of Fun and Video Games. We always have a ton of things going on in the channel. The train is back on the tracks. I'm going to have a train truck in here one day, and you're going to know why I fall off the rails. It fell. I have to do it. Folks, this is Jason's House of Fun and Video Games. I hope you have a wonderful night. I hope you enjoy your weekend. The work week is behind us. Not for me, but most of us, most people. I don't know, whatever. And we already know it's going to start again for somebody, but it already started for me. I don't know, whatever. Thank you for coming by. That's it. That's all I got. So, what are we going to do? We're not going to do anything. We're going to go to sleep. So, take care. I'll see you in the next one. And that's a wrap. We're going to wrap. Dun 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 dun.
And I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon.
Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change, play the game that we say. I need a break.
I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on.
On when I chase like that, yeah, I play so strong with a knife in the back of my swing home.